Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to episode 2 of A Christian Girl's Journey to a Godly Husband. So, episode 2, we're going to be talking about the timeline. So, let's jump right in. Okay, so timeline is a graphic representation of the passage of time as a line. So, I want to say my timeline would have been, in my mind, in the way I think things should go, would have been meet somebody at 16, because I was allowed to date at 16. Meet somebody at 16, be friends with them, develop a deep relationship, start dating, get married 18, 19, and then have my first kid about 21. Well, I'm 19 years old and I've never met anyone, never dated anyone. And at the rate I'm going, it doesn't look like anything's happening anytime soon. So, that was my timeline. That's the way that I thought it should have went. That was my perfect thinking. That was, that's going to line up. That's going to be great. That was all me. My flesh, my eyes, my mind. What we don't realize is God knows and sees everything. He knows the day you're born, the day you'll die, the moment you have your first child, how many children you're going to have. He sees and knows. He sees everything. He sees to the very end. So, He knows everything that's going to happen. He knows that you're going to go through things and that you're going to experience things and that you need things to build you up, and some things bring you down, and He knows. He knows everything, and He gets you through it. So that's why we cannot get weary when we don't see things coming, because He knows. He knows everything. Trusting God's timing involves patience, faith, surrendering control, and understanding that His plan is ultimately for our good, and He unfolds at the perfect time. Recognizing that God's timing isn't bound by our human calendar, and He has a purpose for all and any delays. If you ever think that you're delayed or you're missing a milestone, I was allowed to date at 16. So I thought, okay, 16, I'm going to get a car, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to get a boyfriend, it's all going to be so great. That's the plan, that's how it's going to go. And 16 rolls around, I don't get a car, I don't get a job, and I hit a mailbox, and it costs a lot of money, so that's why I didn't get a car. But anyway, that's a story for another time. And then I didn't get a boyfriend, and then here comes 18. And 18 rolls around, and now I'm fully an adult, and I still don't know anybody. I still don't have a boyfriend or a friend or any potential crushes. And then now I'm 19. Next year I'll be 20 years old, so it feels like, what if I never get married till I'm 27? Or, what if I have my first kid at 32? And God ultimately has everything planned out. There's nothing we can do to change it. And if we try to change it, it's not going to be His will. If I would go right now and get on a dating app, and I'm not saying dating apps are wrong, I'm saying God can use anything. But say I got on a dating app, I seen this guy, and God said, no, that's not the one. But I didn't listen, and I started involving myself with him, dating him, going places with him. It ultimately wouldn't work. And I would be more hurt coming out of it than if I would have just waited. Waiting can seem like forever, and it's hard to have patience. But the feeling you feel right now, waiting and having patience, is so much better a feeling than doing it on your own and getting heartbroken or getting cheated on or being in a marriage that wasn't meant for you your whole life. So, if we can just wait on God's timing, we could not possibly plan our lives to work out any better. Any more than they're going right now. We couldn't make them work better. We couldn't make it go faster, because God knows and sees all. And so we don't know and see all. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen December 13th. We don't know what's going to happen any of these days, because we don't know the future. We only know the present and the past. So, from the past, we work from our past mistakes. From the present, we push forward to the future in a godly mindset, looking for a godly relationship, and He's going to bring it to your lap. He's going to bring it to your life. He's going to show you ways and the ways you're supposed to go. So, we're going to go. I always like to bring scripture into it, because if you get advice and you can't back it up biblically, I wouldn't take that advice. So we're going to flip to Romans 8:28, and I want to show you something. So Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God, to them that who are called according to His purpose." So, do you love God? I love God. Anyone who is a Christian, or even if you have other religions, you love God. He said, anyone who loves Him, it will work out to the good together to involve, and He will make it prosperous. Everything will prosper. So if we can just believe that, we want to believe that He can do simple things. We want to believe that He can help us find some lost money or a lost phone, but we don't want to believe that He'll bring a right, godly husband into our life. We want to limit God on the things that He can do and on the things that we believe He can do, and all it takes is the faith of a mustard seed. If we would have the faith of a mustard seed, God would bring that person to our life. And I'm not saying you don't have faith. Even if you could be so faithed up, so praying, still something could not be ready. He could not be ready. You could not be ready. Time couldn't be ready. We don't know. We don't know where our future husband is right now. Even if it's a friend. Even if you have a friend and then he becomes your future husband in the future, you don't know what he's going through right now. You don't know what he's working through. You don't know, what you need still to accomplish before you can become joint with another person. So we're going to go to Proverbs 3. And we're going to start in verse 5, go to verse 6. I want to show you where we can't rely on ourselves. So Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path." Don't lean on your own understanding. Don't lean on your own knowledge. Don't lean on your own thoughts, on your own visions. Lean on God, and He will direct your path. I could have not possibly known that last year would have been one of the hardest years of my life. My uncle passed away. It was the first funeral I ever been to. He was in my life my entire life, and we seen him. It was one of the uncles that I seen a lot. And a lot of people can think, well, it was just an uncle. It was just... But then things happened after that, and it just seemed like stuff snowballed, and I gave so much of myself away in that year, doing different things, and then when things happened, it just wasn't reciprocated. I never found closure. I never, made sense of it. I never understood it. And then I started going through different stages of grief, and it was just mind-blowing. I lost my grandfather when I was just months old, so I never really knew him. And it is sad looking back now, saying I never grew up with a grandpa, but for someone you knew, for someone that was in your life, who cared about you, who talked to you, who helped you, it was just really world changing. It changed so many of the people in my family. And so that was whenever I was 18. He died in February when I was 17, and the following March I turned 18. So what was my plan? My plan was to be married by 18 and 19. So if I was just going into a marriage or if I was just going into a relationship, I don't think it would have worked because I really needed to work on myself. I was really not in a good state. And so I could have not possibly known that that was going to happen. Who knew it was going to happen was God. So that's why I think that's a main reason why I'm not married yet, or I didn't have someone in my life, because I still needed to go through some things and God still needed to help me. And if I was in this new relationship, a lot of firsts were hard. Without him, I was like, he always wanted me to get a car. And like I said earlier, whenever I was 16, I hit a mailbox, so then that like took the money I was saving for a car, and my parents buy us our first car, so anyway, I had to fix the car that I hit the mailbox. Another story for another time. But he was so pushing for me to get a car. He would aggravate my parents and be like, get her a car, get her a car, get her a car, just like it was a simple thing. And I didn't get a car until after I turned 18 in March. So even sometimes when I look at my car, I think, what's the point of even having that? He never got to see me get my first car. He would have been so excited. He would have rode with me. He would have said, oh yeah, that's great, this and this and this. And he was a cars guy. So sometimes I think about that and I think, what was even the point? What was the point of getting a car? Because he's not even going to see it. And there's so much other points to getting a car, but that's just how grief is. So I would think if I was, well, what's the point of even having a marriage right now? What's the point of even this? And I think if I was trying to work through a marriage, plus work through grieving, plus work through trying to, keep my faith, I don't know how that would have worked. Honestly, I don't think I could have got through it. So, like I said, we don't know. I didn't know that was going to happen. And just the way it happened, it was so sudden and we were not prepared for it. So, but God knew it was going to happen. And he works all things together for the good. And I'm not saying God, took him out or any of that. So do not get me mixed up on that. But I'm saying he will work it out. He knows, so he plans accordingly. Just like how we know I'm going on a camping trip this coming Friday. So I'm like, okay, I got some Gatorades for the ice chest. I got, my bag packed. I got my fishing stuff. I'm planning accordingly because I know what's coming up. He knows what's coming up, so he's planning your life. Don't just think he's sitting up there not caring or, not doing nothing, sitting on you, not working in your life. He is always making stuff new. He's always repairing stuff inside of you, emotionally, physically. He's always lining it up. He's always working. He never stops working on your behalf. So I feel like episode 1, if you have not already seen it, please go watch it so we can keep up with this series. Episode 1 was Foundation. Episode 2 is Timeline. So now that we got our foundation, we got our understanding about how God works things out. Now, episode 3 is coming very soon, so keep a lookout for that. Please put in the comments down below any questions, any Bible verses, anything. I will read the comments and respond to them on the next video. Thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed day. God loves you. Remember, your husband or your wife, if you're a man on here watching, is coming very, very soon. Hold on. I love y'all so much. Bye.